Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all of you. I am Lina Lamparetta and I will be delivering a speech on the cons of online learning. The entire world is facing a global crisis brought about by COVID-19 pandemic. It has greatly affected economy, education, environment, public health, and the society as a whole. Given the current situation, the Philippine Educational Authority still seek to implement online learning in the pursuit of continuous education. That being said, poses a huge challenge to Filipino learners as to accessibility, connectivity, and effectiveness of such an approach in the delivery of instruction. So why am I against online learning, ladies and gentlemen? Firstly, not everyone is given equal resources. Taking note the socio-economic status of the majority of the Filipino people, we can therefore say that not everyone is fortunate enough to have access to computers, laptops, and even smartphones. In crises like this, where most Filipinos have lost their jobs and their means of living, families would always prioritize buying food and other basic necessities rather than acquiring expensive electronic gadgets for online classes. It isn't fair if some students are able to meet their professors' expectations just because they have better and complete gadgets, while those who lack proper equipment are placed under pressure of how they could meet their professor's expectation. Secondly, another dilemma in terms of online learning is internet connectivity. According to mobile network research firm OpenSignal, the Philippines performed poorly in the speed and availability of internet connection throughout the country. Thus, students as well as teachers find it difficult to carry out synchronous and smooth flow of learning. Aside from poor internet service, the rate of data allocation is expensive. Students who belong to less fortunate families have no choice but to rent cheap computer shops just to comply with schoolworks, risking their health by exposing themselves more to the virus. Or the worst thing is to just stop schooling and wait for this pandemic to be over. Thirdly, the effectiveness of learning is a predicament. Online classes tend to make participating students undergo contemplation, remoteness, and lack of interaction. This results to social isolation, which leads to anxiety, stress, and negative thoughts. Moreover, cheating prevention during online assessment is complicated. Compared to in-campus setup, online learning allows students to cheat on assessments more easily as they take assessments in their own environment while using personal computer. On top of that, online learning tends to focus more on theory rather than practice. A large portion of online learning choose to focus largely on developing theoretical knowledge rather than practicing skills. The reason for this is evident. Theoretical lectures are considerably easier to implement in an online learning environment than practical lectures. With all that being said, the effectivity of learning is uncertain. Ladies and gentlemen, given those arguments presented, I am calling upon the government leaders, especially those in the education sector, to please never make online learning an option in the pursuit of continuous education amidst a global pandemic. Not all students have the luxury of participating in online modes of learning. It is unfair that students are deprived of the kind of learning they deserve just because they are not given equal resources and equal opportunities. Online learning only aggravates the crisis by adding expenses to quarantine families. At times like this, our main priority is our health and security. That is why I am strongly appealing to the concerned body to implement a form of learning where no student is left behind. Thank you and God bless.